Okay, joining me now to talk about Frog Bath are Leonardo and Rachel. Now, this is a multiplayer game, and it gets pretty hectic, so I'm going to let some people on their team play. We're just going to watch a match, and they're going to walk me through what's going on. We're going to start with a two-player round, and while we kind of see the mechanics, Leo, why don't you tell me a little bit about Frog Bath?
Yeah, so Frog Bath is a frog v frog capture the soap platfrogger with a heavy emphasis on movement and player choice. So frogs are competing in this kingdom to bathe their frog king before anyone else does and to do it as best as possible. The way this is done is there's a shared objective between all of them in the level called the bath item. Their goal is to go get the bath item and then bring it back to the frog king, and then that scores no point, so first to 3 points wins. It has a lot of approachable surface level mechanics, but still provides enough depth to satisfy more competitive players.
So as I'm watching these frogs zip around this level, the thing that stands out to me is the way they move, the different mechanics you've implemented to help them move around the level. What kind of process did you go through when you were designing those movements?
Movement was always the core of Frog Bath, and at the beginning, the design intent was for it to be easily understandable, but allow for players to show off their skill and develop unique playstyles. So with that, each mechanic in the movement has its own use. The charge jumping goes higher up, the perfect frog hopping gives you bursts of speed, and then the tongue shot lets you just go anywhere you want in the map. Each movement ability is more useful than the other ones, with the tongue shot being the most useful. We played around with removing that as a disadvantage for when players have a bath item. And in order to remedy this, because they're losing now the most powerful ability in the game, they gain access to being able to spit the bath item out either at other players to stun them for self-defense, or at the Frog King to score points from long distances.
Yeah, I've noticed really when you play this game, if you get good at the dash jump, you just become a monster. So you get that skill curve. Oh, as we see player one, apparently the best player here. Let's see, though, how they fare if we do a 4-player match. What do you guys think? Let's do 4 players? Let's do it. Let's show off another level, too. You guys have made 3 levels, so let's talk about that level design as well. You've got these jumping characters, that's central to being a frog. So how do you build the levels around that now?
The level designers approached the levels initially with making sure that everything was accessible via jumping. Like I said before, sometimes players don't have access to the tongue, so making sure that they can go anywhere, even if they have the bath item, was super important. Also, we wanted to have more open spaces because through testing, we saw that more enclosed, tight spaces, players would often go around it using their movement instead of through it. So we moved to having the levels be more open, with tight spaces acting as choke points to kind of control the tension. And originally, we had a gigantic level. It's about 3 times the size of the level you see right now, but we realized, again, through testing, it was way too big, so it got split into 3 parts, one for each of our level designers, and then each one of them took their own style of level design into the level, and they each play very differently while still harnessing those same movement mechanics.
Well, player 2 has an early lead, up 1-0. Everybody else just tonguing around the whole level. Rachel, he talked about how, he started too big and then you split it up into 3 levels, but you guys had a very small art team, as I understand it, on this build. So how do you keep that ambition of 3 levels still, but not overwork your artists?
Yeah, we really wanted to have environments that portrayed a Bath Kingdom theme, similar to how Mario Kart replicates themes in their levels. So going to the semester, we knew we had only 2 artists, one of which was an environment artist, and we knew that we wanted to have those 3 levels. So we definitely wanted to get a contract artist to help us out, but we also made sure that we planned to scope the art in a way that it was manageable. So the level designers and the lead artists worked closely together to make sure that all of the level geometry was very modular and the assets that could be reused within the specific levels or throughout all of the levels, which was really beneficial. Also, the lead artists did a really good job of making sure that all the assets that they asked for remained within scope.
I see the chat laughing at me for saying not overworking the artists. I should have said, to your best degree. This is a multiplayer game. Have you seen this game out in the wild? How do players actually respond to getting their hands onto it?
Yeah, so the social aspect of the game is probably one of the best parts, at least in my opinion. It's really fun to even just watch people play the game and just battle over bath items and compete against each other. So we actually had the opportunity to take the game to PAX East, which was such an amazing experience. We saw so many people that really enjoyed the game, and they would even come back later the same day or later in the weekend and bring more of their friends so that they could also see the game. So seeing the the interest level really peaked in a lot of people was just like an amazing thing. And so if you want to, we're releasing the game for free on Steam in June 2020. So
Yeah,
be sure to check it out.
My wife and I got our hands on your PAX build. I'm much better than her at it, so she doesn't like this game, but I love it. So thank you both so much for showing off Frog Bath.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.